There was a Danish philosopher who once said the truest line of all time. If you are single, you'll be miserable. But if you're married, you'll still be miserable. Pick your poison. Marriage is no picnic, especially in our world today. Female empowerment has completely destroyed marriage. It's not men's attitudes that are wrong, as many women think. It's the women's mindsets. Over the years, marriage and divorce have become a booming commercial business at the misery of the people. When a man and a woman get married, they employ event companies, decorators, florists, musicians, and marriage halls, and invite people from all over who pay for their flights and taxes and bring gifts. When they're divorced, the lawyers get paid, the moving business gets paid, the judges get paid, the media, especially if the couple is famous, gets rankings and views, and finally, the woman gets paid for life. It's a complete cycle, and it's never going to end. If people don't get married or divorced, what will happen to all these people profiting from a couple's misery? A less attractive man who has no luck with women, but perhaps has a good career, saves his money, buys his own home, drives a nice car, invests, and has a lot of financial assets. Now all of a sudden women find him attractive. Can he trust that they like him because he could be a good, solid provider, or is it simply because they see big dollar signs in a future divorce settlement? Never underestimate the predatory nature of the female gender. You see, men love women for who they are as a person. Women love men for what they will get out of the man. Babies, houses, money, lifestyle, nice cars. And since women are unhappy creatures, with fleeting moments of happiness, they will divorce the man, taking all the man's money and assets, and go looking for that elusive happiness they will never find. Modern women have changed their gender roles to individualism, and men have essentially maintained their traditional roles. Times have changed dramatically with divorce law inequality, and men are being hugely disadvantaged legally and financially. Men are learning the hard way that the risks are too great to be associating with these modern women indoctrinated with feminism. The divorce industry is booming, and it is a big business. Lawyers get extra wealthy, women gain free money, and courts are cashing in with fees, only because she got bored and her friends told her that she has options. The biggest losers out of this are the children. Men get devastated but recover most of the time, but kids growing up in broken homes rarely turn out to be stable people in society. I saw this firsthand back in the day when dating a solo mom. Her son was heartbroken month after month. All the empty promises and no-shows, plans canceled, and last-minute plan changes. Women just don't care, yet put up a victim show almost every time. I don't think women understand the damage this has caused and how it will majorly affect things going forward. The defining moment in the war on men was when countries around the world legislated no-fault divorce and framed it in such a way as to grossly discriminate against fathers. Then the lawyers got a hold of the legislation and decided to create bodies of case law which turned children into bargaining chips and mothers into the unassailable guardians of children. By this chain of circumstances, lawyers then successfully argue to this day that whoever has the children gets the cash and prizes in the best interest of the child. And since women are naturally carers of children, mothers should always be the ones to take care of the children. Men who marry or have children in a Western country in this era are either deaf or blind to the dangers, or certifiably insane. I'm now at a point where I meet men at work or through gaming, and they're completely against having any form of relationship with women. And it's not a who hurt you type of reasoning. It's an I don't want a woman coming and ruining my peace, and I'm seeing lots and lots of that, particularly with older men. This has been a situation in the making for probably over 50 years. Men have finally decided that it's all a recipe for misery. Love is actually dangerous. It's a drug. You crave it, you want it, but look at the price you paid for it. The situation is increasingly dangerous for men, especially in the United States. In the US, any child your wife has, no matter who the father is, you pay child support for after divorce because you were married. In almost all states, the only protection men have against paternity fraud is to never marry in the first place. When the resilience of your family is entirely resting on the emotions of mostly a woman, then 50%, 80%, and 90% divorce rates are to be expected, and as a man, there is nothing you can do except to minimize those risks. Marriage used to be a sacred bond between two people who love one another with their own plans for the future and family. Now it seems when a man gets married, he is also married to his in-laws, his wife's friends, and all of his wife's co-workers. All of these people now have a say in why your marriage isn't working every time something goes wrong in a marriage. If couples can't work these problems out themselves along with some professional counseling, it's over, and all the advice from family, friends, and co-workers can't save it. The best thing now is to forget the institution of marriage. The justice system punishes men for marriage. There can be no wife material until the laws are rewritten. There is zero incentive for a man to get married in 2023. We all know that the ring on her finger does not ensure exclusivity, so it's not like other men will be impressed. Who the father isn't important now. Most women's attitude today is to get married and have children, and if the husband is a lemon, you still have the children. This is the future of the family unit. Men deal with stress in their lives, and women are supposed to be their place of comfort. Many women today are argumentative and start adding unnecessary stress to relationships. Men find it easier to stay single when there's no stress being alone. Many women speak of trust, yet they can't abide by their own beliefs. Relationships, for the most part, are about communication. Without that, there is no relationship, even if a man is true to them. So, why would any of you think we don't want a woman who is clean? I'm not laying down for every man in the neighborhood behind our back and then lying to us about it. Ladies, do you really think we're that naive that we don't see and hear from others about your activities? Women need to accept that most grown men are not a work in progress. Modern guys who are average on the salary topic have figured their lives out, have their goals prioritized, and living the life they want. They do not need a modern woman coming in and degrading anything about their life, trying to make them better. Accept a man for what he is, not for what you think you can turn him into. Accept this, or women will be single for a long time. The truth is that for men, 99% of all relationships with modern women are massive investments of time and money with no returns other than diminished access to the bedroom. It also doesn't help that for the most part, these women will openly show their disdain and disrespect for that man at every turn. If this sounds familiar, then why are you wasting your time and money chasing them? From a purely psychological point of view, men are doing fine, they are thriving. Women, on the other hand, are struggling. The statistics from women on antidepressants prove this. 1 in 4 women use antidepressants, while only 7% are on men's side. So, it seems like feminism made women more miserable while the men got freedom and happiness out of it. With the way things are going in society and how inflation is driving people about their homes, marriage and children are now luxury items that only the top 10% of the richest Americans can afford. The middle class in this country is getting screwed over royally, and this younger generation of kids coming of age in this country can no longer afford just very basic necessities of life like housing and food, and getting married and having kids. This is due mainly to the structural deficiencies of the current type of capitalist system that we have been living under for over 40 years now. For the most part, the American dream that our elders once enjoyed is no longer available to the younger generations. Marriage is a luxury men cannot afford. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. And let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.